Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of The Yard. I'm Darryl, and today I'm joined with my co-host, producer, singer-songwriter Aaron Howard, and a very special guest, a longtime friend of mine, songwriter, composer, bassist, tour artist, oh my God, Larry Antonino. But before we start today's episode, I want to give you a little background on Larry because it's incredible. Larry Antonino is a singer, songwriter, composer, and a bassist from Santa Cruz, California. His impact on the Los Angeles music scene is evident through dynamic live performances and collaborations with jazz greats like the Jazz Crusaders, Jeff Beck, Bobby Caldwell, and more. Noteworthy artists like Freddie Ravel, Steve Oliver, and Rob Mullins frequently seek his expertise for both recordings and live shows. Larry's a skilled composer. Not only co-wrote all the tracks on Village Strut, but also crafted compositions for various groups ranging from Air Supply to smooth jazz. An intriguing tidbit here, okay, ready? Larry Antonino played the role of Scott Wolfman Pell in Tom Hanks' That Thing You Do. And he played on all the tracks for the movie, which went on to go platinum. He's currently on tour with Pablo Cruz. He plays with Barry Manilow. It's going to be an incredible segment. We're going to dig in right now. Larry, good to see you, man.
You too.
Awesome, man.
I know, brother.
This is so cool. Welcome to the Yard, man.
It's great to be here. I'm ready to play.
Larry Antonino and Aaron Howard. You know, there's so much to talk about in your career and some of the things that you've done. And I've known you since you were out of high school. In fact, I was your first manager.
Yes, you were.
And you guys, and we're going to hopefully be able to talk a little bit about that. You went on to have an incredible career when you left Santa Cruz, where we first met.
That's
you
right.
were out of high school. You went on to Los Angeles, and a couple of your bandmates at that time had some incredible stuff happen in their career. But for yours, you really blew up, not only as a touring artist and a session man, but then became, of course, your songwriting, and then you had some good fortune there, right?
Yes.
And then, of course, you went on to tour with some notable people that we mentioned in your intro. So let me ask you this. What drove you? What was it? We talked earlier about music. You had made, in our fireside, you'd made a comment about, music picks us.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of what happened. I was basically in elementary school, and I thought I was going to be a sports guy. And one day, we all got together in the classroom, took this kind of music aptitude test. And my mom was playing classical at the house, and my dad was playing boogie-woogie on the piano, and I had music all over the place. So I didn't even know it was like in me. And I got this really high grade, and they said, something about you and music. And you know what? Anytime a teacher or someone says something to you, it's very powerful to a young mind.
To a young mind.
So I went, someone thinks I'm good at something. So I took up some instruments, ending up on the bass guitar, mainly upright bass in the symphony, and then the songwriting thing came after that. So kind of mastering an instrument first, played woodwinds and other things, piano, but ended up doing, mainly playing the low end, and that's when I discovered all the other instruments, how they worked, being the center, the bass, melody, harmony, counterparts, percussion, everything that was happening. When I found that instrument, so don't be afraid to try a new instrument, anybody, because I was really horrible on clarinet. So, but when I learned the bass clarinet, I realized that's where I hear the whole thing. That led to learning the string bass and the upright bass. So, going along, the music just kept saying, let's go. Started forming bands.
That's right.
Started doing, playing in fusion bands at first, and songwriting came. And so all of a sudden we just started together as our first group, City, which you managed.
That's right.
We started writing a song, us little guys out there in Santa Cruz. And we started performing them live, and I go, there's something about this. And I remember I wasn't even a singer, and they said, who's going to sing this? And,
Well, you had no singer. That's why we put Gavin Christopher with you.
And we got Gavin Christopher, who's an amazing singer from Rufus, Chacon, and worked with Herbie Hancock and a lot of people. Anyway, he was great, and he was a big influence vocally on me too.
He was.
So then we started kind of expanding from there, and him and I wrote that song that ended up on Jeff Tysick's album, and I got in ASCAP, and I go, wow, and then royalties.
A check came in.
check came in, and I went, maybe this songwriting thing's pretty cool too. So.
And you've had an incredible ride with that too. So,
Yeah, that's good.
Because I go back so far with you. So, City was an instrumental band. You guys were all about, Jeff Lorber, the Crusaders. Those were some of your Lee Ritenour. Those were five-piece band with a saxophone player, and like I said, several of you guys went on to have a pretty cool ride.
Exactly.
When you went to LA, then this is what blows my mind about you. So you grew up, your heroes were like the Crusaders, right?
Yeah.
And you go to LA, and then all of a sudden you're on 2 tours with the Crusaders in their bus in Europe.
Yes.
Okay, and then you get on their way to the first city, you get into a theological argument with them, and you hold your ground, and they come to you with the loving endearment and say, let's just agree to disagree.
Yeah, exactly. Who knew?
And so here you are now touring with heroes of yours, man.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And at a young age.
Yeah, it was incredible. The first gig in LA I got was with a saxophonist named Ronnie Laws. And a lot of people don't know, he was actually one of the first guys in Earth, Wind & Fire, but then his solo career took off. And he's from Houston, Texas, and the Crusaders are from there. So after working with Ronnie, touring with Ronnie, an incredible dream. That's the other guy we were listening to back in the day. And a dream right away came true. And so when the Crusaders were looking for a bassist, Ronnie recommended me, and Wayne Henderson, the trombone player, was producing Ronnie. So it's a lot of synergy going on in this business. You got to realize you're working with this guy, but he knows all those guys. And if you do a good job and you show up on time and you're always professional,
and prepared
always, then they say, oh, I got the guy, and he's in your mind to recommend you. So it's who you know to a point, but you have to do your due diligence.
Aaron, I so love the fact that you're here and you hear this, because I watch your career and the people that you're working with and the work that you're putting into it and their dedication on that. And I know in every fiber of me that the level by which you're going to rise. And now you're working together, and you guys are producing, some new songs for us, and we co-written some stuff together. This is very cool for me, man.
Yep. Yeah. I'm so glad to know Aaron, man. We immediately clicked, and we had some great conversations right off the bat about a lot of things. And then just getting in the studio, having a song that Darryl wrote, and we came in and kind of co-wrote, and we were producing it, we were moving it along. And just the conversation, the etiquette of the studio is like, when someone has an idea, the original guy, I don't know, you were open to say, well, let's try that. And we took in a couple directions, ended up being a beautiful kind of way to launch into a chorus or, other parts. And his vocal.
You're talking about Poets and
Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And his beautiful vocal arrangement that he came up with, just great. Our voices sound really well blended together too. It's a crazy thing, but. So we're going to be doing a lot of work together. This is a super talented guy right here.
So let me just ask you a quick question. Mistakenly or locking you out of the house that night when I went to bed and you on the cold, you stayed on my patio. That ended up being a good thing.
We didn't even know for an hour and a half. We were in this deep conversation about everything under the sun, and just hitting it off amazing. And I just said, okay, it's time to go in, and it was not opening, and you guys were sleeping, so we were banging on the windows.
Yeah, we didn't find out. Otherwise, we would have knocked a lot sooner, because we talked for an hour.
Yeah, it was an hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
So we made it back in the house. But
can you stick around for another segment?
I'll hang out, man. Yeah, I'm sticking around.
We do that
you
for
bet,
us.
You bet.
And Larry Antonino. Oh my gosh. Aaron Howard, we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit about the challenges of the industry and some of the things that Larry's seen in his career in Los Angeles and around the world. We're going to get Aaron's take on it. We've talked a lot about it over our episodes this season. Thank you. If you liked what you saw today, subscribe to our Facebook, share it, love it, like it, and let your friends know about it. We do appreciate it. Help us spread the love. When you're out there getting to wherever it is you're getting to, we hope all your dreams come true. Love your fate, love on your fellow. We'll see you again real soon. Stick around. We're out from the yard this time around. I'm Darryl Scotti.